Hey, how you doing? I just thought I'd give you a little something to look at here while I'm explaining the video to you here. But this painting I did in response. This is one of a couple, two, three paintings that I did in response to that Charlie Hebdo killing in France back in 2015, where a couple of Islamic radicals went into the art studio and just started killing the artists in there because they had depicted their religious leader in a way that they didn't particularly like. So they just went in and killed him, which to me is just absolutely ridiculous. In this country, you may not like the politics that's going on or whatever. I don't know what your views on politics are, but I mean, can you imagine if President Trump went out and had that done to everybody that spoke out against him? We'd have an extreme population reduction here. So, I mean, I don't care what anybody says, this is the greatest country in the world, in my opinion. And at least you're allowed to speak your mind without getting blown away. Anyway, this video here is back from December 18th in 2018 here. So let's roll with it here. Now this thing is just jumping all over the place. Really makes for an interesting visual when you're looking through the infrared is how I spotted this. And it's just sparkling all over the place. Now one thing you might notice right off is it seems to be far away and close up at the same time. And this obviously is a screen grab of that. We'll zoom in here a little bit and have a better look at it. And you still can't see it very well, but it's got a very odd shape to it there. So let me enhance it here a little bit. Now what I've noticed on a lot of my videos that I've taken of these orbs, they've got these small holes in a 6-pointed configuration, oftentimes somewhere on the unit itself. The reason for that I'm not really sure of, but I see it quite often. It almost looks like a shower head or something like that with 6 holes in it. So I don't know if that's the power plant that's generating, the metamaterial to light up and change shapes or not. But nonetheless, it's there quite often. That's another screen grab, and notice the color change in it. And there again, like I said, that's a screen grab, and you don't notice it when you're watching the video because it pops so fast that you don't see all these color changes. That's not been enhanced at all. That's just a screen grab, just the same as that is right there. I mean, it goes from dull to bright in a nanosecond to the point to where you can't even hardly see it. Now this here is a filter that I put it through, and keep that in mind. I didn't change the filter throughout these other screen grabs here. It's the same filter, but you can start seeing the color changes within the filter itself. See how it's kind of gone to a lavender sort of a color, and you can see it's continually wrapping in and around on itself. So it's got to be an electrical or magnetic field that's causing these metamaterials, I'm calling them, to change shape constantly. Again, that's not that's not changed in any way. These are all going through the same filter. So the color changes are happening within the object itself. Look how it's wound in on itself like that. I mean, it's incredible, because if you look at it and think that, or say, which I believe, those little splits and lines in there are oppositional division points of magnetic fields. So look how many magnetic fields must be in there at the same time going on. It's incredible. How it's doing that, I just don't have a clue. It's really neat to observe, though. I can say that's for sure. Look at this here. I'm gonna do that's a screen grab that's been put through a filter, so you can see what's going on with it, right? And that's the original screen grab of that right there. It's kind of hard to, go through a video with one frame at a time and then get them to match up. But I did manage to get a couple of them to do that. Now look here, I want to point something out here. This has got that six-sided configuration going on with it on the outside of it here. So like I said, whatever that was that I pointed out in here earlier with the 6 points on it, or the 6 holes, I think is manifesting itself on the outside of this thing as it goes along, and maintaining that six-sided configuration. There you can see it a little bit better with another part of it's popping out there. Now that's the original screen grab of this right here that's been put through a filter. So you can kind of see what I'm calling the wiring. Here on the outside of it, all you see is pretty much of a smooth surface. And this has been put through the filter here, and that's the original screen grab of it. So about halfway through this is the same video. I'll slow it down a little bit so you can have a little better look at what's going on. But that thing is just hopping and bobbing all over the place. A very energetic object. It's got a consistent pulse going on to it, rather rhythmic. Now I've got another video I took just the other night, actually, of a very similar object. I don't mean to bore you with the same thing all the time, but the only thing I can do is take videos of what it is that I'm seeing. So if you've subscribed or watched the video, I really, really appreciate it. So y'all take care out there, and thanks again.